I mean, it's not up, but
Alright, here we go.
it's on.
Alright, hello, we live? I really don't know. Oh, I don't know if we're live here. I assume we are. Everything looks to be going well
We are
on
live.
YouTube. Right, there we go. Hello, all. Welcome to. Well, this is going to be our first kind of live stream thing. We've had the idea to do something a bit more informal, I guess. Although here's me putting on a fucking formal voice while doing this. But yeah, I'm Doug. I've got with me Max, and we're going to talk some post-Christmas hobby, pre-New Year stuff, and wrap up 2023 in general. Really,
The Betwixtmas stream.
Betwixtmas. Oh, I like that. Oh, that should have been the name.
Yeah, it's not bad that. Fill in the cracks stream.
Fill in the cracks. Yeah.
But yeah, the idea is just to make life easier for ourselves and not have to do any editing, basically. Do a nice little stream. We can have any questions that'll pop up if whilst we are recording and answer them at the time and
Yeah.
keep it nice and casual.
Turn off my Steam chat. I've got my friends chat thing coming up right in the middle of the stream. How do I
That's
stop
you've got to
this?
keep it. I mean, as long as it's nothing too revealing, that's
This is just my friend from work playing Dawn of War. Oh, he's playing Soulstorm as well.
obviously.
What an expansion! That was good. Good expansion. That right. Let me just completely sign out of my Steam account, and that should stop that completely. Yes, go away, Steam. Right. Okay. We should get no more
Obviously,
pop-ups.
this
Cool.
is our first attempt at streaming, so
Yep. As you can tell.
it is live and uncut.
Yes. Yeah. As we said, no more edits. So I can't spend hours and hours cutting out Max's obnoxious swearing.
You haven't cut out my swearing, have you?
No. 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 No.
I know there was a nice little Easter egg at the end of episode 2 where I tell everybody to go fuck themselves.
Mm. Did you appreciate the little like cut off thing I did on myself?
Oh, did you did
I
you
cut
not
it.
do it?
I cut it off short, just as I said the word F.
I like that, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well,
Oh
welcome
well.
one and all to the episode, and you know, enjoy fucking yourselves
Hmm.
through this episode where we review 2023, some of our hobby highlights, and then go over some of our hopes, dreams, visions for 2024.
Indeed, yeah. What would we do if we were at the helm?
Oh, armchair CEO of GW. Is that the game we're gonna play?
Hmm. Hmm. Yep. Yeah, we'll do that when we get to that section for sure.
Oh, there'd be some changes.
But I guess we
It'd
can't
basically
really.
be the scouring of the Shire scene from Return of the King.
Yeah.
I'd have everybody in chains.
Is this all of the employees at GW you're talking about?
Yeah, just manufacturing Middle Earth minis.
Yeah.
I need new plastic warriors of Minas Tirith.
Yeah. Well, we can't really have a Betwixtmas stream without talking about what came first. So what did you get any Middle Earth stuff for Christmas, or any just hobby stuff in general?
Absolutely fucking nothing for Christmas for me this year. No hobby Christmas stuff, no nothing. The only thing I got that was even remotely Middle Earth related was a set of lovely watercolor prints. One of the it's the dwarves from the Hobbit crossing the bridge into Mirkwood, into
Oh,
Thranduil's kingdom. It's a really lovely thing, and then one of the Argonath.
nice, nice.
It's
Yeah,
gorgeous.
Yeah, there's some really nice ones around. I'm guessing they were probably off like Etsy or something. I've got a trio of ones
Yeah,
up on my wall as well. Argonath, Tower of Barad-dûr, and then Bag End. Nice little trio of pictures.
joys of live streaming, Doug. I'm just going to have to nip out because I can just hear my child screaming. So
Oh
I will be
dear.
back in 2 minutes.
Scream stream. Well, I guess while we're waiting for Max to get back, if you are listening along, please do send in any questions or your hopes for Middle Earth in the future. It's a section we're going to get to later on. What do you think that you would like to see in Middle Earth in the new year? And what are your thoughts of 2023 for the hobby in general? I think while Max is gone, let's have a slide change. Oh, I can hear him.
I am back.
Welcome back.
The second arse I have had to wipe tonight.
What was the first? Were your own?
Oh, well, third if we include my own.
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that counts.
So, where were we before I had to go and wipe an arse?
I think we were talking about your watercolour prints that you got for Christmas.
Yeah, so one's of the Argonath, one's of the hobbits entering... Not hobbits, what am I talking about? The dwarves entering Thranduil's kingdom. And they're just really nice. I'm going to get them framed and God knows where I'll put them, but just really nice bit of Middle-earth related paraphernalia. But I did specifically say I didn't want anything hobby related for Christmas this year.
Fair.
Got everything I need.
Mm. Yeah, you've got quite a lot to chew through, haven't you, right? For Heresy and Middle-earth stuff.
Oh, more than enough. But yeah, big plans for 2024, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that soon. There's the teaser. I just
want to say I switched slide while you were gone, and I was thinking this while I was putting this slide together. This looks like we're about to go on tour. Between the font and
we'll
the title.
We'll get some t-shirts made.
Rogue goes ever on live tour. Yeah.
The Herald of Woe band t-shirt. It does sound like a metal band, and I do love that.
Oh yeah, it totally does. I think that's why we went with the Slayer font, right? In the thank goodness we didn't get like some copyright strikes from using that Slayer music.
I mean, I'm a little bit gutted. I haven't had any comments or mention of the intro and how fucking awesome it is, but I absolutely love it. Absolutely
I had a lovely
it.
comment from Alistair Nichols, who shared his Boromir with us for the part 2. He loved the music choice.
Yes, that's what we need. I have just it could be deadly for the stream, but I have just cracked open a lovely Glen Turret 12, which I got for Christmas off my mother. She knows me well. Oh, that smells strong. Yes.
Middle-earth, whiskey and metal. That's what we're here for, I think.
I feel like that's a very good summation of my life. Lovely. Right, this stream could go very well or very badly, given how this hits me. But, you know, we're triers here. We're Mexicans, not Mexicans.
I like that. But yeah, first time streaming, so there might be some technical issues later on. Who knows?
Yeah, or my children could shit again, and I would have to go and wipe their ass.
Yeah.
You know, they're teenagers, but do what you must.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what about you, Douglas? What have you got for Christmas?
I got Radagast the Brown set. The wife got that for me. I've been mentioning it all year ever since we watched the Hobbit films last. And I was like, oh, there's a set where you get the rabbits and it's really cool and I want it. And she was like, oh, what, the guy with the shit all down his face? And I was like, yeah.
It's the one part of the Radagast aesthetic that I could never get behind, that is just covered in shit.
Yeah. Yeah, she was quite like, what, you want that model, that guy? But it fits for the army that I want to kind of work on first for the new year, which is kind of a Radagast's alliance. So I've already got Bayon, and Radagast was the last bit I needed. I've already got a whole bunch of eagles painted up, so yeah, that's going to be one of my armies for 2024. And then I got a lovely Scale 75 non-metallic metal gold paint set. I want to try and do some high elves at some point, not for like any army. I've got a couple of the metal spearmen lying around, and I fancy practicing my non-metallic metal glazing skills, glazing and blending, and I figured that's the perfect opportunity to have a go.
Well, Doug, I don't want to alarm you, but we have people watching.
I did see some comments coming
in
through.
particular. Yeah, Carl Daly is in the chat, which is fantastic.
Yeah, welcome, Carl.
Mr. Speaking to Carl, yeah. Tell us what 2023 has held for you, Carl. Have you got any good plans for the new year? Let us know. That goes for everybody in the chat, all one person. Let us know what's going on.
Quick, set up some new accounts, Max.
Just
spam the.
Yeah, well, my girlfriend's in the bath watching. That's a second viewer. I'm gonna go set up some tablets for the kids, and hopefully they can put a couple of comments in the chat, and we'll see where we go from there.
Awesome.
But yeah, I'm liking the idea of some non-metallic metal. I think that's something that, given what you've done with your jet source lighting, that'll look pretty mint, really.
Yeah, it's something I'm just keen to try. I mean, I've done blending and glazing and stuff like that before, but never like just considering light source stuff. I've kind of branched into it a little bit with OSL on Sauron, as you've seen, and Harry Goatleaf before that. But yeah, just want to try pushing that a bit further. So I guess that's one resolution for the new year, is try non-metallic metal a bit more.
It's one of those skills that I've tried it a couple of times and I've failed every single time, and it's really put me off it. But yeah, I'm really curious to see how well you do with that. Really curious.
In my mind, it's just like glazing and blending, right? But it's unlike those skills where you might be doing that on an area of cloth. The area of cloth already provides you with what the highest edge should be. It already provides you with the folds and stuff, whereas if you're working with a flat pit, you don't know where the light source is and how it should be bouncing around. I think it's going to take looking at a lot of reference material, reference pictures of similar colours and shapes of metal. So we'll see how it goes. I'll definitely be posting my results on Instagram and stuff, so if you're interested, do give us a follow there.
I hear a good tip for that is taking a photo of the model in black and white, lit from above.
Sure.
It usually gives you a good reference for where the light source comes from and everything like that.
Okay.
But yeah, should we get to the meat? Should we give it to us raw, Glenn?
Yeah. What, next slide, you mean?
Yes, our 2023 highlights. So, you might as well carry on. What have you been your 2023 hobby highlights? What have you been up to? What have you been doing?
So, in kind of chronological order here, because I'm that much of a organised asshole, Vanquishers of the Necromancer Army was kind of started the year off with that, and the aim of that was to get my favourite sculpts of every single character and paint them up to my current highest quality, for lack of a better term. And I got them done in time for Scouring of Cheshire in earlier this year, and that was my first outing with them, and I have not touched them since. It was such a brain melt trying to play with that army. But no, it was such a fun project to do. How about you?
Yeah, and they look great. Yeah,
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was like the old
for
get the
me,
classic Radagast, get my favourite Gandalf, Saruman, etc.
yeah. I mean, speaking of Scouring of Cheshire, that I think that was my first gaming event this year, and probably the last gaming event actually. But
Certainly the biggest
I
one that I
really enjoyed
attended
that.
this year.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. It's not the only gaming event I've attended this year, but I took the not Castellans of Dol Guldur, the Necromancer Legion with the Nazgul of Dol Guldur, and I absolutely loved it. I had so much fun playing that army. They definitely require a bit more finesse, I think, like more than I could muster. You know, considering it was the first time I'd even played with them. But I think I managed 3 wins,
Nice, nice.
or maybe. But it was so much fun, just so much fun. They were really rewarding army to play. Like I didn't find when we were talking between games, you were talking about how the White Council will melt in your brain.
There's just so
I
much
didn't
stuff to
find
remember.
that with.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I think the Necromancer Legion, there's not a hell of a lot to remember. You've just got some really nice tricks, and the key thing is remembering what each of your Nazgul can do.
Sure. Yeah, I think my thing.
Other than that, they
Oh,
were
gone.
really good fun.
Yeah, it was fun that we just took out opposing armies as well. I thought that was quite fun. I will say my favourite game of the whole thing was when I did actually get to play against the Necromancer Legendary Legion. It was just like a game of chess. It was fun.
I'm glad I didn't have to play. I was scared of the White Council. I think the White Council are kind of built to play the Necromancer Legion, but the Necromancer Legion is not built to play the White Council. I may be wrong on that though. Other more astute players may be able to
Yeah,
chime in on
I
that.
did lose that one. It was destroy the supplies, so he had the numbers, slight numbers advantage, but still numbers advantage. But no, it was a good game. It was a good game.
Yeah. So moving on from Scouring of Cheshire, that was about March, right? April or March.
Yeah, yeah, around that time. I think
Where
I had
do
a
we
bit
go
of
from
a.
there?
So I worked on some kind of commissiony kind of stuff for friends. So I painted up a Ivrain for my friend's Dune-inspired Eldar army. That was a lot of fun to do, actually. Just do one kind of like a one-off character and paint it to a really high standard. Following on from the Vanquishers was nice. And then I started on a Gandalf the White, which did eventually get featured in a Warhammer community article, which was really nice.
Yeah, that's definitely a highlight. Definitely a highlight.
And then in terms of other armies I got done this year, I was very happy to finally get Barad-dûr on the table. I've been meaning to paint up Sauron for years. Ever since I saw him in issue 1 of Battle Games in Middle-earth, I've wanted that model. And finally got him a couple years back. And yeah, finally got him on the table.
And it's an easy model to build and paint, really, isn't it? I think I did mine in about a weekend. I know you did a lot more OSL. Mine's mainly dry brush, and whilst it wasn't featured on Warhammer Community, they did feature it on. Do you know they used to put the pictures of people's models on the Games Workshop website?
Yeah. I remember when they did that. Yeah, because I had a Blood Bowl model featured for a while on Forge World website.
Yeah, that were really cool. I used to love that they did that.
Mm.
But my Sauron was on there was on the product page. I was really proud of that. But that was like 3 4 years ago. Um, but yeah, really cool model to make.
Yeah, no, just it was really fun. Just putting down Sauron, and I mean, I did a whole bunch of orcs with it as well. Um, yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm going to continue building that though into the new year. Got some siege bows, and I'm going to put Shelob in it as well. I reckon it's just nice to have kind of little one-off models I can chuck into an army, and it plays differently now. I've got quite a nice spread of models painted now.
Yeah, and you can never go wrong painting orcs, really, can you? Because you can use them for just about every evil army. So it's always nice to have some well painted orcs to take some time on them. Paint good standard orcs. I really like. I painted 12 orcs and I spent some proper time on them. I think they're really nice models. The old plastics,
Yeah,
considering their age, which is quite surprising.
yeah, it's just really nice thinking. Oh, I can just change a hero or a monster here and there, and my Mordor army's gone from being Mordor to being Angmar to being Barad-dûr.
Yes, yeah, that's the way I thought about it. The only thing is you got to then base everything the same, which is a bit shit, but it is what it is. It is what
Yeah,
it is.
yeah, you do. So, like for instance, I want to do. I mean, in the new year, I want to kind of do an Angmar army, and it means I'm going to have to base stuff similarly as well. But I don't mind. I don't mind. I'm happy to add for the heroes, especially add like a little bit extra detail on them, or add a little bit extra on the bases to kind of push them one way or another. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, and
So, any other
finally got
events
my.
of note?
Oh, I was just going to say I got final army of the year, so I got 3 done. I got my Shire
Nice.
on the board finally. I had a bunch of hobbits painted up for my Chief's Ruffians army, and I finally got a load more hobbits done. And I did like a kind of Greenfields theme, so Banderbrass, Gandalf the Grey on horse, Arathorn, but I used him as Arasawil, the Dunedain leader alive at the time of the Battle of Greenfields, and it was kind of hobbits and rangers. And with that, I think I had a look earlier. I'm still currently the number 1 Rangers and Shire player, which I'm so over the moon with. Never expected to get that kind of achievement this year.
You need to get a WWF style belt made for yourself
Yep,
that
yep.
you can take to events, slung over your shoulder, like the heavyweight champion of the world,
Mayor of
and
Mikko Belvin.
march up to. Yeah, I quite like that. A massive pimp chain. It's number
Oh yeah,
one
just like Will Whitfoot's wearing.
Iron Armor. Yeah. So 3 armies built, couple of events attended.
Yeah, yeah. I always try to attend the local Norwich, Norfolk Hobbitses events as well. So there's been quite a few of those throughout the year. I think I've been to 3 of those, and there was another one a bit closer to Bury St Edmunds that I went to. So 5 events in total this year, I think.
Mad for it. I mean, that puts my 2 events. Oh no, three events. Yeah, so I think I've got 3 Middle Earth events under my belt this year, which was um, the Scouring of Cheshire, the little battle streams in Middle Earth meetup, which I'm calling that event because I thought that was great
Oh
fun.
yeah, yeah. That's a good
Nice
event.
weekend of pure hobby, and um, and then little local tournament at Powder Monkey Games, which was really good fun, and I came away with a. It was the sealed green box Fellowship of the Ring.
Oh, that was that event, was it?
Yeah, which I'm taking that as a bit of a win really because you got points for wins, best painted armies, and just best most sporting. And for each win you got a raffle ticket, and you put
Mm.
that raffle ticket into a cup at the end. And I think I must have put about 20 raffle tickets into the cup for the Fellowship of the Ring and pulled it. I was well happy with that.
Oof, jeez. Yeah, that's an awesome prize. I think we probably talked about that a little bit on episode 1 and 2, didn't we, of our fellowship deep dive.
Yeah, I think I was quite happy with that. Yeah, I think it's the closest to ever winning anything I've ever been. So I was really happy with that. But then, so I mean, my events pretty much ended in May and July. I think July was for the B-side meetup,
Yep.
but in March, or I think it was March or May, I went to Gibraltar for the SN Battle Reports 40k event,
Oh, yeah.
and
Yep.
that was great. Love going because you get to catch up with your mates, and it's basically just a bit of a lads' weekend and playing games and drinking non-stop. Came home from that with a commended army certificate, which I was pretty buzzed about, and then applied for the SM Battle Reports No Retreat event, which is an invite-only event on a static cruise ship. That sounds like a static caravan, really, doesn't it? It sounds a bit mental.
That's
Um,
yeah, that's the British version, is it? They do it in a caravan instead.
yeah, they basically just yeeted a cruise ship into a bay and concreted it in, and jobs are good, and that's the hotel. But basically, they do a tournament on there with some of the best, I'd say, some of the best sort of painted armies I've ever seen in my entire life, and that was for Heresy. But I'd applied for this event without an army, so I had to paint 3,000 points for October to a relatively decent standard in order to not let the guys down over there. Didn't want to turn up with, my Crayola army, Crayola special.
And that was your Sons of Horus you took, was it?
Yeah, so basically that wiped me out for the year. So I started on that, and the event was in October, and I basically didn't stop painting Heresy for 6 months, and
Mm.
then afterwards booked another Heresy event, Greetings from the Warp, which is I believe they've done a couple, I think maybe two Middle Earth tournaments, and hopefully they do a couple more. And that were brilliant as well. So I painted a couple more models for that. So my hobby year has pretty much been engulfed by Heresy. But now that I've got my 3K army sort of finished for that, it means I can start focusing on getting back to Middle Earth. But yeah, I'd say that's a hobby highlight, going over to Gibraltar. It's mainly going over to socialise, but it's good fun, really good fun.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. No, I've done one of the 40k ones there. Obviously, I joined yourself and some of the other lads that go from England, and yeah, it was awesome. Loved it. Love to go back for one of the no retreat ones as well at some point once I got my Heresy army done. So
Yeah, sounds like, just taking a look at the chat, sounds like Carl's not really got much done this year. I know he's had a move. He's I think he's back in Liverpool now, which is pretty cool. I know he's a big Liverpool supporter, so. But yeah, got some big plans for 2024. It sounds, but again, we'll get to that. We'll get to
yeah,
that. Lay the
thousand
tease.
thousand
Lay the
points of
tease.
Amon Barad sounds awesome. Can't wait to see that.
Another one getting ready for Throne of Skulls 2024 already. I'm on board with that, Carl. Hopefully, I can see you there. I'm looking forward to that one. That's one I've got kind of circled already in the calendar.
Same. I've never actually been to one of those. I'd love to go. Thousand. I don't think I've
Yeah,
been
let us
to a
know,
thousand point
Carl.
army before. A
If
thousand
if you're
point
still
army.
listening, what you're planning on for this Amon Barad army? I'd like to know what that's going to consist of. That sounds really cool. So yeah, shall we move on to the next slide, Doug?
Yeah, next bit, shall we? So, 2023 in review. This is kind of, what have GW done for us in 2023? Really, I feel like this is going to be a short section, Max.
I don't think it's going to be the long section. I mean, we were surprised when we were looking earlier about what we've actually had this year,
Yeah.
but I think it's consisted of two made to orders. First one being the Towers Special with Theoden. on horse, unarmored. The Heroes of Helm's Deep, Gamling horse with no flag. The Urukai battering ram and Gimli on Dead Uruk. Oh, one or two. Actually, there's a couple more extra in there.
Yeah, I mean that
Metal
was
Warg Riders,
oh
Melfa White, Frodo Baggins. Oh, the Ithilien set.
what the captured
And
by Gondor.
yeah, and then the Fell Beast with Frodo and Rangers of Ithilien. And that was in January. All the way back in January. It's no wonder we couldn't remember it.
Yeah, I really struggled
I
to.
don't
Yeah,
think I picked
and
up anything from that.
it's not the most memorable made to order, to be honest. I think some of that's repeating stuff that's come back before, right?
Yeah, and plus not exactly the most. I don't think there's many models in there that are hard to get hold of, other than maybe the Gamling Captain of Rohan. But I do think he came out on a previous made to order, so I don't think even that model is uncommon. So it was a bit of a yeah. I don't think I was too buzzed by this one. Don't think I was too buzzed by it.
No. And you mentioned there was a second one as well.
Second one, not really a tie-in to anything really. Just a bit of a strange random assortment, but it was Rangers of the North clash with Mordor Orcs. So we got Halbarad. I think it's the alternate pose. Halbarad with standard. Got the horn up to his lips.
Horn where he doesn't actually come equipped with a horn ever. Yeah, okay. I know the one.
It's a really gorgeous model. Really gorgeous model.
Yeah.
And then that came with the Grey Company models, which again I think these were rarer sculpts. I think these are the ones that have been out of production for a while, so these were a little bit of a interesting one to pop up.
Sure.
We also got Eladan and Elro here. No, I think these had been back on a made to order before, so again I don't think these were the biggest shock coming back again. We got the Kings of Men, the 4-pack, always a popular one.
Oh yeah.
The Witch King.
I did pick up the Kings of Men. Oh well, I split it with some guys locally, but yeah, okay, I remember that one. I can kind of place it in my mental calendar now when that was.
Yeah, well, speaking of which, I picked up the Witch King on Fellbeast because I think it's a really cool sort of pose for the Fellbeast. Really, I think it looks it's a really interesting pose.
Mm.
And then we had the Mordor captains that I think they've been through a couple of times now. The one where he's wearing Minas Tirith armor. Really smart models. I've got these two.
The both arms raised up cheerleader one.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that one. Don't quite understand it. It's a little bit like, hey.
Fair. I think that's the one I prefer, actually, to be honest.
Really? I like the Minas Tirith armor. I think it looks sick. And then we got the
Barad-dûr and Angmar, and the Minas Tirith armor doesn't fit.
Yes, that definitely doesn't fit. No.
Whereas, and it's funny because the way I play my Barad-dûr army is Sauron basically does all the work, and the orcs just sit back and like, go, daddy, go. And having an orc cheerleader captain just sounds hilarious.
Yeah. You got to come up with your own head cannon on that one, and is in prototype Númenórean armor.
Yeah.
We got the metal orcs, the classic metal orcs. Every time these come out, I'm tempted to buy them, but usually they're about 40-50 quid. And if you buy in, Witch King on Fellbeast as well, and maybe another hero pack, you're fresh out of cash straight away. You're spending a couple hundred quid on one made to order. This is why I think they need to space them a little bit better.
Agreed. Yeah, because I'm tempted.
And with the metal orc archers.
Oh yeah. I think is that the first time the metal orc archers have been back? I might be wrong.
Yeah, could be. And then for some reason, the cave trolls, the 2 metal cave trolls came back. No idea why they came back, because they came with the Quest of the Ring Bearer made to order.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, all right. I mean, there's some memorable bits in there for made to orders. Though it does feel like a long while since we had one. So
Yeah, and I remember this one because it was a bit few and far between, and it came, and I wanted the Rangers, the Witch King on Fell Beast, and the Orcs, and it were going to come to like 300 quid all in, buying, because you don't want to buy just one pack of Rangers, you want to get enough for a small force, and
oh yeah,
I even wanted the Kings of Men. It's a really good made to order. It's just because it's all in one, you're a bit fucked because you're going to have to take out a mortgage just to order what you want from it.
yeah. Made to order or rent this month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kids can wait for college. They don't need education.
No. So obviously we did have some new releases this year, and probably one of the most notable is the, or perhaps controversial, is the Get Off the Road little diorama piece that we had.
I don't think it's controversial. I fucking love it.
Fair. And was this to commemorate, was it 20 years of SBG or something? Or can't be that, because what was it to commemorate? I don't remember.
No, I don't. It was to commemorate something, but it was a bit of a strange bit of timing with it. It was. I think it were announced on like like the preview streams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it were a bit of a strange one. So, but I love it. I think it's a really cool little model. I like having something. I'm looking forward to painting it as just a painting project, nothing to do with gaming, and I think it's cool. I like it. It's people whinging that it wasn't a gaming piece. Well, I don't. I think there's something going on that means they can't really release gaming pieces at the moment. So. Yeah, I really like it. It's a cool little painting project. It'll be fun to do, and it's nice that they're doing things like that.
Yeah.
Especially for the collectors out there, not just the people who are obsessed with the game itself.
For sure. I think where the controversy comes from is that there was nothing else, and when it's been quite a while since we had Defense of the North, and I think people were expecting a preview of the next thing for gaming, and we've talked about like how nice it was when GW would do pieces just for the sake of doing a piece, like Gimli or Dead Urukai, for example, but they always came out alongside other stuff, and there'd been quite a bit of drought in the gaming scene, and then there was just this, and I think it was it revealed at like Warhammer Fest or something, and all of these other systems got like, we had 10th edition, 40k come out. I don't know what edition we're on anymore. And then just this one piece, which wasn't even for gaming. And I think it just got people a bit riled up.
Well, I don't know why. Everyone's got more than enough stuff to be working on.
Yeah, I mean, I've got plenty.
I didn't need anything new.
I mean, the system is the easiest game to splash into new armies. So,
plus it's the best system, and you do not want them to fuck about with the system. If they do what they've done to 40k, or to a much lesser extent, they changed 30k when that went in second edition, and some would say for the worse, some would say for the better, but the fact that you've got that 50-50 means that some people are coming out a little bit unhappy about it. So yeah, I like SBG the way it is. I don't think there's anything they need to do to it. It doesn't need anything. I think Legendary Legions have changed the game massively, turned it into a really nice, it's promoted more thematic play.
Yeah,
and
really should be at the heart of all of this system anyway. I mean, it is at the heart of the system, narrative play. So we all come to it for love of the films and or books first of all. So makes sense.
And then last but not least, we had the clear plastic Army of the Dead, which came out in December, I think.
Yeah, have you received yours yet?
Well, I didn't want to talk about it, Doug, really, because no one wants to hear me whinging about the fact that I haven't received my models that I ordered on December the 2nd, and they still haven't turned up yet.
Oh,
And it is almost January the 1st. So, yes, I did order them, and I've not received them yet, but we're being patient.
everyone at GW just left all of their holiday until December and then just took all of their time off just as you put in your order.
Yeah, it must be something like that. But everyone's managed to, still managing to send out bloody kill team boxes and stuff like that to people. Just not my fucking Army of the Dead. It's a gripe stream. It's a gripe stream. Just gonna gripe.
Yeah, they were a cool kind of little
But yeah,
surprise thing that we got this year.
I think they're awesome. I even though I've not got them yet, I still think they're super cool. I've looked at photos of people who've got them in hand, and they're just what I thought they were going to be. Yeah, I think they're cool. And
Yeah.
listen, if the hands are tied for other reasons, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's one box, and you've got an army.
Yeah, I mean, what the King, Heralds,
And they look pretty cool.
One box of the Ghosties, and you're done. Really. I mean, yeah, you don't get the Banner or Horseman, but they're kind of supplementary anyway. So, in my mind.
Yeah, but still, I think it's a cool little release. I'm happy with it. I'm looking forward to getting mine because it's just going to be a nice weekend project. Hopefully, I can get them done in a weekend, which would be pretty cool. And then that's straight on the table. But yeah, I tell you what, as years in review go, that's quite a fucking short one.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, did we? I know the new starter set came out last year. When did we get the Osgiliath mansion and the tower? Was that this year or was that last year?
That was this year, yeah.
That was this year.
I think
right,
that
okay.
was this year.
So that would be another one this year.
So we've had new terrain as well.
Yeah. Which means a bigger,
and really nice terrain as well.
Board. Yeah. Oh yeah. It looks really nice. It's all completely modular and stuff as well, isn't it? So.
Yeah. But overall, we've not had much this year. No, absolutely zero supplements. No, let's say rules additions to the games. What are your thoughts on it? What do you think? What's your thoughts and feelings of the fact that we've not actually had anything this year?
So
for in terms of a book or anything like that.
Yeah, I feel like there's definitely some stuff going on behind the scenes that we're not completely aware of. I think it's pretty common knowledge that the team that work on Middle Earth also work on Blood Bowl, and more recently have been drafted into working on Old World. I may be wrong on that, but I think I read or heard it from somewhere else that was the case. So with Old World now coming out, and probably I think people are floating rumours out there that we're going to see some reveals over the next coming days and weeks in January. I'm hoping that we'll see some more Middle Earth stuff coming back, and maybe they'll have resolved these new licensing issues that are maybe not going on behind the scenes. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I'd hope so. I mean, I'm not necessarily disappointed because, like I said before, for me, selfishly, the fact that I've not been able to really work on any Middle Earth this year has kind of made me a bit happier that I'm not getting that FOMO that nothing's actually been released. But at the same time, I think you can see with other game systems that when the releases do dry up, the people do drop off the wagon. I wouldn't say I've dropped off Middle Earth whatsoever. I still love it. exactly the same as I did before. It's just I'm working on different things. But I think some people do, if they're not playing that game and if they're not gaming with that in that system, and if there's not releases for that system, they'll happily sell up and move to, whatever they'll buy into Legions Imperialis or whatever
Yeah,
thing the influencers are pushing that week.
yeah. Well, I think supplements and the promise of new supplements definitely keeps people invested in the system long term, and it keeps people motivated to get their current army done so that they can buy the new cool stuff when it comes out. And if there hasn't been any of that, then I can see some people's kind of motivation flagging and not being as motivated to paint and build and such. So, but with GW, there's always other systems, and there's other systems even outside of GW. I think some guys locally have been investing and playing the Song of Ice and Fire miniatures game from Cool Mini or Not.
Yeah, it is nice that it gives you a little bit of time to look at other games.
Mm. Yeah, because 40k I think can be like very all-encompassing. Like you need to be on the ball all the time. New releases, new, buy, paint.
Yeah, I think one of the guys from the Battle Streams in Middle Earth group put it quite nicely. It's amazing what happens when you stop focusing on painting power armor.
Hmm.
Because I think that kind of summarizes what it is for 40k. Once you step out of 40k and you look at other game systems, you find you've got a hell of a lot more brain space for other. 40k is almost like 10 games rolled up in one.
Yeah, for sure.
In terms of the amount of brain space you require. But when you step out of that, FAQs every week and rule changes every week environment, suddenly you've got a lot of brain space to take on, a smaller game. Like I've picked up some Adeptus Titanicus models. I'm going to give that a go.
Nice.
And it's just a small, self-contained game that's probably not going to that will likely not receive any more support ever again. With Legions Imperialis.
Yeah, with Legions Imperialis, I think the same will go for Aeronautica Imperialis as well.
Yeah, I've heard it from a fairly reliable source that those games are probably dead now in terms of receiving new things, which I'm absolutely fine with. I'm going to get my rule book. I've got my Titans, my mini Titans, and I'll play some games. And it's good knowing that you don't have to worry about the next set of add-on rules coming out in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and you can continue building and playing for that edition, as people have done for Warhammer Fantasy since that got killed off. You can continue doing that for that system, so without fear of new stuff, like you say. So it's its own. There's something quite nice about it being its own self-contained little thing that's not really going to get fucked with anymore.
Speaking of which, should we move on to the next slide? Because I think that comment about fantasy kind of ties into the next slide.
Ooh.
Oh, Ames, you've done me dirty. I thought it was.
What did you expect?
I actually don't know what I expected. I was expecting you to read my mind and generate slides as we go. But yeah, so anyway, what I was going to say was 2024 is going to be quite an interesting one because we'll see the old world come in, which, as you mentioned, we know that the studio who makes SBG is working on the old world, which might mean we start getting some SBG back or some more supplements coming out. But with that being said, what are your aims for 2024? What are you going to be working on? What are you going to be doing?
So I've given myself a number of aims split over two different systems. So I would really like to try and get 3 Middle Earth armies done, and some of them I've got a bunch of models done for them already. So I don't think it should be that difficult. So the first one is Radagast's Alliance. Already got a bunch of eagles done. I just need to paint up Bayorn and Radagast, and that's it. That's all I need to get done for that. I think that's pretty easy to do, and I can really take some time over each of those models. Not really planning to take it to any tournaments or such yet, so there's no rush or anything. So yeah, just spend my time doing some nice versions of those characters. Next one, I really want to do a Mount Graham themed Angmar list to go alongside my Greenfields, Shire and Rangers list. So essentially Angmar led by Golfimble, and it's not got any ghosties or stuff in it. It's just orcs, maybe a couple trolls, Warg Chief perhaps. And I think that'd be really quite fun. And get that on the table, get that to some local tournaments, and yeah, just show off Angmar in a way that people haven't seen before. Lastly, for Middle Earth...
Yeah, because people usually lean into the Angmar spirits, right?
Oh, completely. Yeah. So I want to do something completely wild and out there, and have, obviously, Golfimble as the leader, and just do it themed around the evil side of the Battle of Greenfields. And I've got a 650
That's really
point list that I'm going to work towards, and I think the only bits I need to get for it now are the Warg Chieftain and 12 Wild Wargs. But I've got Golfimble painted up already, so it's just the Wargs to paint, a couple Cave Trolls, and finish off my Angmar Orc Shaman on Warg. And that'll be me done. So, yeah, not many models. And the next one and the final one I want to do is a bit of a bigger one. I want to do my Candish and Easterling alliance. So I've got an all-Cav Shadow in the East style army. So led by Camwell, a bunch of Cataphracts, a buttload of Candish horsemen, Candish king, chariots, etc. And I really want to go kind of all out on them. So I'm thinking gold, non-metallic metal, silver, and purple and black as a kind of colour scheme.
Oh, that would look gorgeous. Yeah, purple and black will look gorgeous.
And I'm thinking kind of like maybe slightly ancient kind of looking oxidized gold almost. So there's kind of little bits of teal in there as well, which I think will contrast really nicely with the purples.
Yeah, I've picked up some nice oil paints for that. I picked up a nice teal oil paint that I'm going to be using to try and do some oxidizing on the little baby titans that I'm going to be doing.
Nice.
I think it's a really cool effect that looks really nice.
Cool. Because normally I just rely on like Nihilak oxide or something. What have you gone for there? What is it? Something different, presumably.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of gonna continue into using oils a little bit more for 2024. I always really like, on the hobby bingo thing.
Oh yeah.
I think it's on the Middle Earth one, and I'm looking at the White Dwarf one from 2022 on my desk. Don't know why the fuck that's still there. Has it got anything? No, of course, it's from a White Dwarf, so it's just kind of based on just buying more models. The entire thing is just buy. Have you bought a box set?
Yeah.
Buy more box sets. Invest into a new game system. Yeah, all right, fucking hell. Give it a break. But no, so the one that I always love on the SPG one is paint a model in style that you've never painted before. Try something completely different. And I really want to lean into that. I want to try stippling and using oil paints a lot more, and just being a bit more messy, basically. Just instead of trying for that really nice, perfect looking heavy metal style, which I'm shit at because I just don't have the patience for it. I want to do something that requires a little bit more artistic flair, let's say.
Sure.
You can just fucking go for it with oil paints and then just try and blend everything in and make it look really beautiful. So I picked up a big batch of oil paints from Element, the Abteilung 501, I think they are.
Okay, nice.
Oil paints. And yeah, one of those was a really nice oxidized, brass sort of paint that I'm going to use to do my oxidized metal effects, which I'm looking forward to. And I've been watching a hell of a lot of videos on oil painting in general, not using any acrylics, just oil paints, which I'm really looking forward to trying.
Nice. Yeah, I've got a bunch of is it Winsor and Newton oils or something?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I fucked up. I was using the Winsor and Newton Alkyd paints and didn't realise that they're not actually oils.
Oh.
They're a completely different. It's a completely different medium. So,
Oh, I'm gonna check. You might have told me to buy those ones. I might have got those as well.
oh, don't blame me. Don't blame me. I mean that. Yeah. I mean, if it helps, I've only just found this out. They're perfectly usable.
Okay.
Plenty of people use Alkyd. It's just, yeah, the effect I was getting wasn't what I was after. So I've invested in proper oil paints,
You're
specifically the
oil
Aptylon ones.
Yeah.
Well, I've been using them for weathering, for the heresy stuff, which kind of seems par for the course for heresy. Everybody uses oil paints for weathering, but I've noticed it's not exactly common for Middle Earth. People generally go for the more heavy metal style in Middle Earth, and so I mean, moving on to my 2024 aims. I don't know. Were you all aimed out there, or have you got anything else to add?
If we're going for Horus Heresy, I want to get my 3,000 points of Horus Heresy done as well. And that's going to start with actually deciding what I'm going to do. I think I've landed on something. I know I shared it with you earlier, but the Prosperine Censure Force. So, Sisters of Silence, Space Wolves, Adeptus Custodes, and a Knight from House Malanax. And I'm going to aim for 3,000 points of that. I've got a whole bunch of the models already. Just build it up and have fun with it.
You got your work cut out for you there. Properly got your work cut out for you there.
It's got a nice bit of variety though.
But yeah, that does sound like a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's got a lot of variety between the different colour schemes and stuff of so hopefully I won't get bored ever of painting it. So I'll alternate between doing a unit of sisters and then do the Custodes and then more sisters, and because the core of it is the Sisters of Silence, because that's what I'd love to build an army around. But I think there'll probably be some more models coming for them. So there's some bikes, there's some Pursuer cadre stuff that has profiles but no kit for it, and I'm kind of a bit concerned about converting something up and then a model comes out that looks better.
Yes, I that's how I feel about it. I won't want to do anything if there was a new model for it coming out. I'd be a bit gutted if I'd spent loads of time converting and then a new model came out. I know that a lot of people did that with Iron Hills back in the day. They did conversions of Grimhammers, and then Iron Hills came out, and it kind of put the Grimhammer conversions to shame a little bit. Yeah, that segues quite nicely into my 2024 sort of hobby goals, which is to put, well, it's just hairy little men, basically. I want to start and finish 1,000 points of Iron Hills ready for Throne of Skulls in December, hopefully. And that's my only aim. That's all I want to do. I just want 1,000 points of Iron Hills, and I want them on a really lovely display board. I want to go to a couple of events with them, actually use them for multiple games, and actually understand them and get better at actually using them, and just have a very different Iron Hills army. Because I want 18 goats, which yes, is going to be interesting.
That's
might be very bad, but it's going to be interesting at least.
I mean, you'll be consistently knocking people to the ground.
Yeah,
that's a lot of. It's a lot of that. What, headbutt attack? I don't remember what it's called, but that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think it's called headbutt, but I'm looking forward to that. But that's pretty much my hobby goal for next year is to put a really nice looking Iron Hills army down on the table. Use the different sort of skills I've learned through painting the Heresy Army and other things, and use oils, use other things, and create something that looks really nice on a display board. Very much like, I mean, Julian's commented down on the stream, but when Julian turns up with his army, it's something gorgeous to behold. It's always on a really nice display board. It always looks really great. It's always incredibly well painted. And usually, I think Julian will pick an army and he'll just run it for like 3 or 4 events.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's pretty much what I'm aiming to do with the Iron Hills is to just build an Iron Hills army and just to use it and use it and use it and just add little bits to it. Like, I've got the Champions of Erebor, I'll add those to it, hopefully. And have those as an option. I can run them with the old old Dane and young Thorin. See how that goes. I wouldn't mind doing a little bit of a allied Erebor detachment, so I can have Grim Hammers, do something that's, based on the... I'm not even going to try and pronounce... Is it Azazun? Oh, fuck that. Jesus. That's never happening. Nah, you fucked it up worse than me, and you're not even drinking whiskey. The Battle of Anal Beads Bar. Yeah, give that a go. Yeah, something more book accurate, because obviously Dane was at that battle.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think in the books
I think that'd be really cool.
He slew Azov.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He is, yep. And then goes and has a quick cheeky glance inside Moria and is like, fuck that. I can see that giant flaming bastard down there. No chance, thank you.
Yeah, no way. Awesome. Well, that sounds... I know you've been
just imagine... Sorry, I was just going to say, I can just imagine Billy Connolly's Dane looking through those, seeing the Balrog sat there and thinking, nah, fucking gone.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, like, I know you've been keen to do your Iron Hills for a while, and I know you've been messing around with paint schemes and stuff for a bit, so it's going to be nice to finally see those on the table.
They've been daunting, if I'm honest. I've been scared of painting them. They're absolutely gorgeous models. Like, I've got them next to me now. Like, I'm sat looking at them, and they're just so... They're gorgeous. They're fucking expensive. So, running an army of them, if you get the paint scheme wrong, you're a bit shit out of luck. They're just daunting. They're very daunting to look at, very daunting to even start on. So I've been trying to take my time to actually come up with a scheme that I really love. And also, silver and gold doesn't always look great on the tabletop. So having something that really pops, I think, is quite important for me anyway. I want something that's going to look quite good. Just for myself, I want something that I can be proud of. I think I tried a couple of different testers on the shields, and I think going for a nice vibrant colour on the shields is kind of key to that. So I'm going for a nice vibrant red on the shields, and I'll go for a red trim around bottom of the warriors themselves, and I think it should look pretty good on the tabletop.
So, that sounds awesome. That's kind of my aim for the can dish as well. I don't often branch out from like non-film based or GW based paint schemes when it comes to Middle Earth stuff, and Candish is really going to be the first time I try and do that. So
yeah, and I think you can you can do that with Candish. It's useful. It's because they're not in the film. You can pick a colour scheme that's not necessarily in the films.
I mean, I'm going to go a bit more out there with the Easterlings to match, so I'm going to do metallic purple for them.
Fucking hell, yeah, that is a bit out there, isn't it?
That is, yeah. But
getting dangerously close to that, like, rave Kayame.
Yeah.
It's going to be different. Going to be different. I
Mm.
like the idea of it. You're going to be going for the old Dragon Emperor King.
Not to begin with, no. Maybe when I try and get it up to 1,000 points, maybe I'll go for him. I reckon I'd probably rather just chuck an actual dragon in the army. I've got one.
Yeah, Dragon is cooler than Dragon Emperor. I'll give you that.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yep. Yep. But yeah, cool to see what you guys are working on. I see Carl's posted up his list of what he's gonna add to his Amon Barad themed army. Sounds awesome. So you've got Kirion, Murin and Dral, Faramir, Madril, Ranger Heroes, and a load of Tin Cans, Rangers and Knights. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, the fact that he's converting every warrior is really cool.
Yeah. That's really cool. That's going to be such an army to be proud of. Can't wait to see it.
And then Julian, just adding a bit to his Dunland. His Dunland's fantastic. It's such a gorgeous army, but just adding bits and bobs to Dunland, Rohan and Mordor, just starting Azog's Hunters army. I mean, Azog's Hunters, I'd love to see what Julian can do with them, because I've not seen, I don't think I've seen much of his evil stuff other than Dunland and Dunland, obviously, in Rohan for his good army.
Yeah.
But yeah, Azog's Hunter's going to look pretty good. As long as he can find a better Azog model, because all the ones at GW sell are fucking wank.
Yeah, there's something about them that just look off for me as well.
That one that comes with a foreign that Forge World did was really good. I can't believe they discontinued that.
Yeah, the Thorin looked a bit wank, but Azog actually looked pretty good.
Yeah, but it wasn't Finecast, Doug. That's the only thing. It wasn't Finecast. So the Champions of Erebor foreign it's 50-50. It's proper 50-50. It's like the Lady Gaga of foreign models, because it's like from a distance you're like, yeah, that's okay, and then it gets up close and you're like, ooh, don't know.
Fair. I've not seen that one in the flesh too much.
Yeah, I've got it downstairs. Ain't looking good.
Fair.
Nose is fucked.
Oh man. Well, shall we move on to the next slide?
Let's go.
Okay, so we've covered what GW did or didn't do for us in 2023. Max, what do you want GW to do for us in the new year?
Just a single book. That's it. I'd be happy for a single book, I think. Yeah, and I don't know what that book could be, but just keep on with what they've been doing. I really like they were on such a good roll. I think everyone would agree that they were on a really good roll, going for the sort of the mainline ones like Quest of the Ring Bearer, and then going to a little bit of a niche one like the Rise of the Necromancer, and then move into going kind of flip-flopping between big and little. Scouring of the Shire was brilliant.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, it really did seem to work. We did seem to alternate,
Oh.
like you say, getting a big one, and then a little one, and then a big one again. So I think we'd be due for it.
Yeah, I remember, because obviously if you'd have asked everybody this time last year what they were expecting and what they were thinking they'd get in 2023, there would have been people saying a Last Alliance supplement, a Moria, Khazad-dûm supplement. Everybody thought we were going to be getting Last Alliance and Moria, and so to go 12 months on and to have absolutely nothing, fair enough, there's something going on there, that's fine, but I'd be interested to see if we do get something, and be interested to see if all the sort of rumours, maybe conjecture, who knows what it was, maybe we do get a Last Alliance supplement, which would be really cool.
Yeah.
Maybe we do get that Khazad-dûm supplement.
Yes.
But yeah. I don't really care what we get. I'd just be happy to get anything. And if it comes with some new models, that'd be...
even with a new match play guide, I'd be happy.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah,
Just something just as simple as
yeah.
that. Just yeah, I know people have got some gripes with some of the scenarios in there, like but yeah, Heirlooms of Ages Past is not really tournament appropriate. It just takes too long. Um, but yeah, I agree. Something like Last Alliance would be incredible to get that, because we've never had Last Alliance supplement before. Ruin of Arnor would be fun. I don't know if people have seen the rumours that have been going around that originated on that Spanish site. Someone mocked up a Photoshop of.
Apparently, that was because it was Spanish April Fools, but yeah.
Yeah, apparently 28th of December is Spanish April Fools. I didn't know that before.
It'd be great. I mean, Ruin of Arnor would be an easy one for him because all it is a made to order for the Arnor range.
Yeah,
It's
they'd want to put
money
some
in the
models
bank,
out
you
as
know.
well, though. So I could see them doing something like an Arnor Royal Guard or something, perhaps.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. Maybe something, like to. We've had. Is it Blackguard of Barad-dûr?
Yep.
Yeah. So maybe a nice bit of a more elite infantry for evil that's sort of leaning more into the Angmar style. I think that'd be
Yeah.
really cool.
Well, I think the thought could be, because there was evil men who joined in the wars of Angmar. You've got the men of Khan Doom, so you could have them as a more elite option, somewhere between orcs and Black Numenorians, and that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool. I think what I've liked about Heresy, or some lists in Heresy, sorry to go back to Heresy, that they've given the option for some things where you can basically just sandpit it. You can do whatever you want. And they did that. They kind of lent that way in Quest of the Ringbearer. You know where they had Bree folk?
Yes. Yeah.
Or at least I think they did anyway.
In one of the
They had an
scenarios,
option
it
for...
was. Oh, it might have been. Yeah, Scouring. Scouring
to use Bree folk.
Yeah.
And everybody, or a lot of people said, wouldn't it be great if they brought out just a generic sort of peasants with weapons kit that we could use?
Yeah.
And I thought, yeah, that'd be brilliant. But at the same time, wouldn't it be great if they came up with some profiles that let people get their creative juices flowing a little bit? So I thought it'd be really cool if, when they brought out the Defense of the North, the only thing I wanted to see, because obviously we knew we were getting Old Dane and Stonehelm, but I thought it'd be really cool if they brought out like a sort of option for a Khazad Guard style King's Guard for Old Dane. And maybe you don't even have to have a new model, but just give you the potential to do a bit of around, like maybe putting cloaks on Iron Hills warriors, or maybe going for a cheeky head swap on them, or something like that. Doing something a little bit different, using your own creativity with it a little bit more. And I thought that'd be a really good thing for them to do. I think the profiles that come with the option to have like King's Guard, so you've got Fror, I think Gilgalad has the option, Durin has the option to bring King Hearthguard. Those are really cool because what it allows you to do is you can use a standard model, but be a bit more creative with it and fuck around with it a bit more. Do a bit of playing around with it, make something a bit more interesting, and say, this is my... What are they called for Gilgalad? Are they called Noldorian Exiles?
That's the ones for Gildor. They're the wood elves who move 8 inches. I think it might just be Kingsguard for Gilgalad.
Yes, it is. Sorry, isn't it? And they get an extra fight value. They like fight 6 elves. It's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, like it gives you the option to just start messing about with them and coming up with something, painting them in a different style and saying, look, these are my King's Guard, or these are my Hearth Guard and stuff like that. And I think they should do more of that, because it costs them nothing. It allows them to basically sell more models without actually having to do anything different. If you
Yeah.
and I don't know who you could do it for. Like, well, they did it with who's the Rohan character who allows you to bring red shields?
Oh no, Erkenbrand.
Erkenbrand, yeah. Everybody, I think a lot of people like Erkenbrand just for the fact that he gives you the option to bring these red shields, and they're really cool, and it's something different. I don't think they're game breaking, but they're just something interesting, and it gives you the opportunity to model them a little bit different. I know. Speaking of Carl Daly, I think he did the exact same thing with the Helmingers. For Grimbold. Grimbold allows you to bring Helmingers.
Yep.
And I think he put some like wool capes on them, and they looked awesome, and they were different, and it was something a little bit out there. And yeah, so that's my hope. I would hope that they don't have to bring out new models. It'd be great if they did, but something a little bit different. I think I'd hope that they'd give us the option to do a bit of modelling for ourselves and be a bit creative. Let the community sort of play with things a little bit more. Because if they're not getting, let's say it is to do with budgets and time constraints versus the old world, you don't need to have people modelling up new models. Just give us some profiles and let us go at it. I'd be well happy with that.
Yeah, agreed. Like, if we're talking Last Alliance as well, like giving Elendil some sort of guard or something.
Oh yeah, that'd be sick, wouldn't it?
I mean, if you got them for Gil-galad, why not have them for Elendil as well? Like,
yeah, like, I mean, even if it was something as simple as saying they fight 5 warriors of Numenor, that'd be pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. Yeah. But your first thought there, or my first thought anyway, if you say to me, right, we're going to do a King's Guard for Numenor, because I'm building a 600 points of Numenor at the moment, which I'd like to get finished early in 2024, speaking of aims. If they said, we're bringing out this profile, we'll go for it, I wouldn't be thinking, oh man, how will they be in a game, or how can I build a list around them? I'd be thinking, right, how can I convert these to look different?
Yeah.
What can I do to make them look interesting and to make them stand out on the tabletop? And the time that's pure hobby time right there. It's giving you more than just a profile to play with. It's giving you inspiration to actually do stuff for hobby, actually enjoy your hobby a bit more. And I think that's something that maybe they've lost sight a little bit of in GW, the whole allowing people to convert things and be a bit creative with things. When they go down the route of if there's no model for it, there's no rules for it.
Yeah, and I know that was really prevalent with 40k stuff in the last number of editions. I mean, we've slowly seen stuff. I mean, Chaos Space Marines have lost a bunch of stuff, haven't they? Because they don't have kits for them.
Yeah, and I think that's what people want. People want the ability to have flavourful, different armies and to put their own stamp on things. Mm. So especially for an army like Numenor. Numenor is a good example because you've got effectively 3 models for the standard warriors. You've got with bow, which are metal, with spear, which are metal, and then you've got this sword and board guys who pretty much have got the exact same pose for every single one of them. It's like, to put a different looking Numenor army down, you have got to spend a serious amount of time modelling and serious amount of investment in time, in hobby to do that. And I think that's what some people want, really. I think that's what everyone wants. They want the opportunity to be different. Like I've just said, I want to put an Iron Hills army down on the table that people say, oh wow, that looks really good. I don't care if it gets swept off the board. It doesn't really matter. It's just a game of toy soldiers, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'd like to have something I'm proud of that I can turn up and say, yeah, I've painted this. And even if it don't win a best painted army, I can still look at it and say I'm fucking well happy with that army.
I mean, I think that's the best way to go. It's the way I aim for all of my armies. I just want it to be something that I think looks cool, something that I don't see before, I haven't seen before, and it's the best way to hobby, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, for anyone who is listening or who listens to this afterwards, I mean, top tip: if you go into an event and you have visions of winning best painted army or stuff like that, I mean, get it out of your head. Just as long as you're happy, run your own race, paint your army that you're happy with, and because the amount of salty bitches who you see who don't win best painted, but have gone there with high hopes of winning best painted. The salt that comes off them is disgusting, and you kind of think this has ruined your weekend, not winning best painted. And it's
Yeah.
fucking, it's a shame. It's a real shame.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't ruined my weekend because I'm here for the salt, but
Oh, I do enjoy the salt. I enjoy the salt. It's just I think it's a shame watching people get annoyed that they've not won best painted
Yeah.
armies just because, you know, y- well, it's fucking toy soldiers, and it's completely down to someone's opinion. So, you know, you've got to take that into account.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, looks like we've had Carl has confirmed the green stuff to cloaks and hand swaps for his Helmingers. Has very long-term plans to convert Dunlending warriors into Helmingers models in the future. Now that is a great idea, Carl. I've seen somebody doing what are the Forge World Dunland models.
Oh, the Huskars.
Yes, somebody used the Huskarls as Helmingers, and they look fucking sick because they painted them in Rohan colours as opposed to obviously Dunland colours, and they look nuts. They look so good. I can't remember who it was, but yeah, it used the Huskarls as Helmingers, and they looked amazing, absolutely amazing. I think, if I'm remembering them right, it might have put Rohan Royal Guard helmets on them, but I might be completely wrong on that.
Oh, that would look awesome.
But yeah, anyway, enough about me. What are your hopes for MSBG, MES, MS, whatever it's called?
Aside from like a Ruin of Arnor or Last Alliance, I think we've maybe mentioned Khazad-dûm. I think there's a good chance we see Khazad-dûm at some point, maybe not next year, but I think I watched a Nerd of the Rings episode where the guy was interviewing.
I watched
Roald
that, yeah. I think he basically confirmed that, yeah.
that Khazad-dûm is like his favourite, and since he's like the product manager or whatever for Middle Earth, then I think there's a good chance we return to Khazad-dûm at some point.
I think we will. I think it's. We've spoken about it before, maybe doing a quick supplement review, but Shadow and Flame is hands down one of the coolest supplements they've released for Middle Earth. Simply because it's pure creativity in that. They've literally just fucking gone it on their own.
Yeah, it was also. I mean, the same with the Khazad-dûm supplement that came later, where there were so many different painting guides in there for doing like Dwarves of the Blue Hills, Iron Hills dwarves before even the Hobbit films came out. There was just making your own dwarf hold. Just pure love of the hobby stuff in there.
Yeah. I mean, I read through the artwork in Shadow and Flame. I think a lot of it is. Oh, I'm gonna get this wrong. David Gallagher. In fact, I'm fairly certain a lot of it is David Gallagher because he posted a bit of it up on his Instagram, which is a great follow because he posts up like alternative artwork for box sets that he's done in the past and stuff like that. So the artwork in it's fantastic. Like the artwork for the Radagast the Brown
Yep.
model that you've painted, awesome. But also like the history, they put in stuff in there about like why the axes of the dwarves are designed how they are, so that you can hook over a shield and pull the shield down, which is, you know, that's I think that's an old like Viking tactic or whatever.
Yep.
But the fact that they've gone so in depth with that, I absolutely love about the Shadow and Flame one. I think I might be wrong on the Shadow and Flame one. That is it's Rick Priestley, Alessio Cavatore, and I think it's Matt Ward.
Oh,
Much hated and maligned Matt Ward, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. But I think he had a lot to do with that, and he gets a lot of hate in 40k. But I think he did a damn fine job in Shadow and Flame. I think those are the three people who worked on it. I don't know if Rick Priestley worked on it a lot, but
I've just opened up my copy now, and it's written by Alessio Cavatore and Matthew Ward. Sorry. Yeah. So no.
Right. So I was wrong on Rick Priestley. Yeah. Yeah. I know it, and he obviously wrote the MESBG rules, but
yeah, and illustrations by David Gallagher and Nuala Kennedy. So if they're also posting up on Instagram, check them out. But yeah, the artwork's awesome. I just flicked to page 5, and you've got those little bits of the kind of sepia coloured dwarves. That's awesome.
Save this juice for the Shadow and Flame episode.
Yes,
save your juice. Save your juice. But yeah, I cut you off again then. I'm sorry about that. So anyway, back to your hopes for 2024.
I think that's covered it, to be honest.
I'll shut the fuck up.
There's nothing left to cut off, really. I mean, what are your guys' hopes for 2024?
Yeah, bang it in the well, it will be the chat, in the comments or in the chat, depending on when you catch it. Feel free. We're just going to upload this straight away, so we're kind of using this as a way to both test out live streams and to just put out a quick little episode. Oh, I say quick little episode. I think it's been about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, we've been going for about an hour.
Hour and a half.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Right, so what's on his next slide, Doug? What have we got next?
We don't have anything next. That's it. That's all I've got planned. The only other thing really to mention is a cheeky plug for our next deep dive episode, which is going to be Moria. So if you do have any Moria models that are in the Moria list as presented in the Armies of the Lord of the Rings book, then please do send us some pictures. We've had some pictures coming in already, but if you're watching this now or after the fact, please do feel free to send them to our email address, which is on the screen now, and we'll have it in the description as well.
Dave sent me a folder full. Dave Sweetin, who's nice. I think Moria Army is fucking top tier. So yeah, and
I've had a
thanks for listening. If you have tuned in.
I've had a cave troll from Alistair Nichols, and I've had another one from Matt Green as well. So some previous featured artists coming back. Nice to see.
Yeah, and keep them coming, guys, because, I mean, even if it's a work in progress, even if it's conversion that you've done that's not finished or painted yet, give it a go. Send it in, because, I mean, we're more than happy to share it and have a chat about it, because that's what the hobby is, just talking shit about models.
Yeah, 100%. That's what our hobby is, anyway.
Yeah, talking shit about toys, and that's all that matters. Yeah. So yeah, if you have watched, thank you very much, and see you on the next one. Doug, anything you want to add?
Probably. Happy New Year's, everyone, and catch you in 2024.
Yeah. Right. Thanks, and go fuck yourself.
Thanks, and go fuck yourself. There you go.